Shalom. Call Halal La Yahweh by Hashem Shah, which means all praises to Yahweh, which is the true name of the Heavenly Father, who you people ignorantly call God, by Hashem in the name of Yahweh Shah, which is the name of the only begotten Son, who you people out there ignorantly call Jesus Christ. Those are the true names of the Heavenly Father and the Son. Plus, I want to give a shout out to the Akim that's pushing and spreading this word throughout the four corners of the earth, who's also uplifting the names Yahweh by Hashem Shah. Shalom to you, Akim. Also, shalom to the Israelite foreigners, the speckled bird, man, woman, child, whose bloodline traces back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, all forefathers, though you may look like the heathen nations you're scattered amongst. The heathen nations are the nations, as you see on this chart right here, starting from the numbers 2 on down. Those are the heathen nations. Also, if your seed line, your lineage goes back to these tribes right here through the man, and if your spirit bear witness with this word and this truth, and you can receive it to the speckled bird, man, woman, and child, this does apply to you who are Israelites, though you may look like the heathen nations just scattered amongst, due to the scattering of these people on this chart right here. So you're going to have Israelites that look like the other nations due to that scattering, but they're really Israelites because their bloodline goes back to these tribes right here through the men. If you can receive it. To the few Akwaf, which is you sisters that do listen and learn, shalom to you. To the elect of the nation of Israel, wherever you may be scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, where this word is going out to, shalom to you as well. To you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, as you see in the chart right here, you combine, consist, and make up the 12 tribes of Israel. You are the Hebrew Israelites, the chosen people, the Most High Yahweh, and His only begotten Son, who you ignorantly call Jesus Christ, Yahweh Shah. And now, I have a clip. This came out, I believe, yesterday. It says Americas, which America, according to the scriptures, is Babylon the Great, is Egypt. There's many different code names in the scriptures to anybody that's new. It says America's infrastructure is crumbling. Okay, so I'm going to play, not all of it, I'm going to borrow time, but I'm going to play it right now. So, here we go.
The rest of the country. This bottleneck gets even worse at winter, when ice forms in cracks left by Hurricane Sandy and 100 years of general wear and tear, forcing Amtrak to periodically shut down the tunnels and defrost their catenary electrical lines.
We're actually looking around the wire. Usually there's icicles. Once we see it, we stop and we knock it down.
This icicle here could trip out the catenary, could knock the wire down, a train could come in, then you have 600 people here stranded, and you got no power, and people are freezing on the train for hours. If we keep up with the ice, it won't happen. If we don't, it'll happen a lot. Oh, look at that, right there. There's a perfect spot.
Hold on, guys. Careful.
All right? Everybody right?
That's what happens.
What happens? An outage, right? Yeah. Call the PD right now. Hey, did you lose the south tube? No? Okay, we're almost done in here. A lot of ice.
Ice scraping and other emergency maintenance keeps the North River Tunnel in service, at least for now. But it's a band-aid solution to the complete overhaul the tunnel needs to make it through its second century intact.
This thing needs to be rebuilt, essentially, from the inside out. So the idea here is to build a new tunnel, shift all the traffic into the new tunnel so that we can then come back and rebuild these so that when all is said and done, you have 4 tracks under the Hudson.
A 4-track Hudson rail line is one of the goals of the Gateway program. While the new tunnel is still waiting for full funding, the old one puts as much as 20% of the entire country's GDP in jeopardy every time it has to be closed, which is frequently.
Chaos and confusion at Penn Station last night.
Transit problems at Penn Station again.
The North River Tunnel needs federal money to help cover its estimated $13 billion price tag, a number that goes up by over $1 million every day they put off digging. Fortunately, the guy we elected president made a big deal out of allocating big money to big infrastructure projects just like this one.
We need to pass a $1 trillion infrastructure plan to build new roads and bridges and airports and tunnels and highways and railways all across our great nation.
Turning that vague promise into an actual plan was delegated to businessman and former member of the U.S.-China Congressional Commission, Dan Slane. Slane produced a list of 50 infrastructure projects for the Trump transition team to consider, prioritized by their urgency and national importance.
My plan was to search out the most critical projects that we could start with, then define how many jobs would be created by those, what the economic development benefit was, so that I could go up to Congress, give them the estimates, and then the following year go back and give them the actual numbers. That was the plan.
Why did FEMA approach you for an infrastructure plan?
Because I knew a lot about China. I studied what China did when their economy would start to dip. They switched over to infrastructure. They started building railroads, hospitals, power stations all over eastern China. Billions of dollars that they poured into their country. And then when the economy picked up again, they stopped. And I saw the power of infrastructure. Our economy for the last 10 years has been stagnating. There's only two ways to grow your economy. You increase employment or you increase productivity. Infrastructure does both.
Unlike China, however, the United States hasn't tapped into the full economy-saving power of infrastructure since the middle of the last century, both in terms of building new stuff and keeping the old stuff in working order. And it shows.
Now, we just inspected this bridge last year. There you can see the extent of the deterioration. See the hole? That's called the floor beam. That actually is a fracture critical member. Fracture critical means if one member fails, the bridge can fail.
Okay.
There's a hole on these, pretty much every floor beam all the way through here. So
The dates on these, that's just when they were noticed, or?
that's how we keep track of it. Every time when we come back the next time, we'll look at that writing and decide whether or not that hole has actually grown or not.
And has this bridge undergone any, major renovations?
This thing was built in 1940 something. Everything that's done to this bridge from now on will be a Band-Aid.
So it's kind of like throwing money into a car that's not worth as much.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Throwing money into a 20-year-old car. The National Bridge Inventory has a 0 to 9 scale, and this bridge is rated a 4, which puts it in deficient category. We will close it when it gets lower than a 3.
If they were to lower the weight limiter and close the bridge, where would be the nearest crossing?
It's the only one within 100 miles or so either direction.
How much time would that add to a trip?
I'm guessing probably 4 hours sitter time.
Multiply those 4 hours by just the 6 trucks we've seen crossing the bridge in the 20 minutes we've been here, and you've already got one full 24-hour day worth of lost time and wasted gas. Then multiply that by the rest of the trucks on this route every day, and multiply that by the number of bridges in similar shapes statewide, and finally multiply all that by 50 states and 365 days a year, and you can see how the American trucking industry claims to lose some $60 billion annually just to lousy infrastructure.
Yeah.
But a big old chunk of American shipping is still done by exactly that, shipping. Though its initial engineering was done by Mother Nature, the man-made infrastructure on our country's waterways is as old and dilapidated as its terrestrial counterparts. The Army Corps of Engineers operates a network of locks and dams that allow cargo boats, barges, and pleasure craft alike to navigate the country's rivers both upstream and downstream from one elevation to another. This is Locks and Dam 52 on the Ohio River. And this is America's single busiest lock. And it's coming up on its 90th birthday. That's very old, and things do break and closures do happen. When they do, it costs our economy some $1 billion every year. How much of this job is just kind of like waiting around on something to happen?
I don't know. Some of us.
But yeah, you saw, a small portion of that. And I'm pretty sure they was going to go into these roads. But, yeah, man. Okay? So let's get the scriptures real quick. Camera up. Alright. Alright. Put this right here. Right? Because if it's falling, okay, Yahweh Shemal Shah, okay, is bringing this place down, piece by piece, inch by inch, economically, okay, morally, just all these ways, okay. Let me go back. This is Exodus. Get this out the way. Exodus, the book of Exodus. This is going back, to the first Egypt, when the Egyptians, the ancient Egyptians, they were Hamites. They were so-called Africans, okay, who was ruling and had us in captivity. Okay, so I'm going to start at Exodus 1:1. Now these are the names of the children of Israel which came into Egypt. Every man in his household came with Jacob: Reuben, Simeon, Levi, Judah, Issachar, Zebulun, Benjamin, Dan, and Naphtali, Gad, and Asher. It says, and all the souls that came out of the loins of Jacob were 70 souls, for Joseph was in Egypt already. And Joseph died and all his brethren and all that generation. And the children of Israel were fruitful and increased abundantly and multiplied and waxed exceedingly mighty, and the land was filled with them, just like now. Okay, it's the same thing now. Okay? It says, now there arose up a new king over Egypt, which knew not Joseph. and said unto his people, Behold, the people of the children of Israel are more and mightier than we. Come on, and let us deal wisely with them, lest they multiply. And it come to pass that when there falleth out any war, they join also unto our enemies and fight against us, and so get them up out of the land. It's the same thing these Edomites, which they're the new Egyptians as I'm about to get, is doing with us now. Okay? It's the same thing. Therefore they did set over them taskmasters to afflict them with their burdens, and they built for Pharaoh treasure cities, Pithom, Ramses. But the more they afflicted them, the more they multiplied and grew, and they were grieved because of the children of Israel. Okay? And they made their lives bitter with hard bondage, which bondage is slavery. Okay? And mortar and brick and in all manner of service in the field and all their service, wherein they were made them serve was with rigor. Okay? Real quick, I want to get that definition of rigor, right? The word in the Greek is parek. Parek, it says harshness, severity, cruelty, okay? Oppression, okay? To break apart, fracture, okay? So you get the point, okay? So what did the Lord prophesy and the curses, what will happen to us? Okay? Let me put this camera up right here. This going back to the curses, Deuteronomy 28. Because this was ancient Egypt. This was the first Egypt. Right? This is Deuteronomy 28. And I started 15, I'll jump to 68. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy power, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. And the major one that we could align to, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, okay, is this right here, right? This is Deuteronomy 28 and 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again. And why did he say again? Because ancient Egypt was destroyed, okay, by Yahweh Shah, okay, by the Lord, okay. He destroyed ancient for that first Egypt. So he said again. Why did he say again? Because this is new Egypt, okay. Because if you look, I would pull out my wallet. You know, I have $1. If you pull out $1, if you look on the back of it, if you look on the front of it, who do you see? You see an Edomite, okay, so-called white man. So it's one of these so-called white dead presidents, okay, mainly George Washington. And then when you look on the back of that dollar, what is it? The Egyptian pyramid, okay? Egypt is synonymous with what? Bondage, okay? So let me read it again. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, by way whereof I spake unto thee. Thou shalt see it no more again. What? The homeland of Israel, okay? That's our homeland, okay? It's not Africa, okay? It's not where you, America, it's not anything. It's Israel, the land of Israel, okay? And why shall we see it no more again? Because we went into captivity, okay? And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for a bondman and bondwoman, and no man shall buy you. And if you go into that word buy, it means redeem us, okay? And to show you another scripture, I always say, quote Joel 3 and 19, okay? Show you it's time the nation of Edom, okay, to this Egypt, to the new Egypt. This Joel 3 and 19 says, Egypt shall be a desolation, and Edom shall be a desolate wilderness for the violence against the children of Judah, the so-called Negroes, because they have shed innocent blood in their land. Okay? So it's comparing the Egypt to Edom, because this is the new Egypt. This is spiritual Egypt right here, as it also quotes in Revelations 11 and 8. Okay? And let me see. They doing the same thing that happened to us back in ancient Egypt is the same thing now. Okay, we were sold onto our enemies with bondmen and bondwomen, and we was brought all over here by ships. Okay, families were separated. Okay, and we built, this America. We built America. Okay, with rigor, hardness. Okay, a lot of our people died in the process of this country being built. Okay, let me see. Right. This is also a curse. Deuteronomy 28 and 30, thou shalt betroth a wife, and another man shall lie with her. You see that happen in slavery. The so-called white man, you will be married to an Israelite woman, Eve, and the so-called white man, he will come and scoop her up and rape her. Okay? And he will buck break the man too. They was doing that. And here's the point. Thou shalt build an house, okay, and thou shalt not dwell therein. Thou shalt plant a vineyard and shalt not gather the grapes thereof. Okay? Thou shalt plant vineyards and dress them, but shall neither drink of the wine nor gather the grapes, for the worms shall eat them. Okay? So that's the point. That's actually manifold right there. Okay, but we built this place up, and what are our people at? We're on the bottom. Okay? You don't Esau, you built this kingdom up for him. Okay? He has you what? First last hired, first fired, okay? He does everything in his power to keep you out of, the high CEO like positions. Because if you work, I always say this, I'm at work now. If you work at any of these jobs, right? Who's always at the top? Or Edomite's always at the top. Okay? That's the curses. Another one I can read is thou shalt get very high, real quick. This is Deuteronomy. But that's because we went off, Deuteronomy 43. It's not because we're not intelligent, powerful people. It's because we went off. We transgressed against our Lord and power, Yahweh Shema Shah. So he put us in this predicament. The stranger, Deuteronomy 28 and 43, the stranger that is within thee shall get above thee very high, and thou shalt come down very low. He shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him. He shall be the head, and thou shalt be the tail. And that's what's happening. This is what you see right now. We're the head, and they're the head, and we're the tail. You have to go buy your groceries, okay? From them, from these heathens, from Esau. You have to pay bills to Esau, okay? You only could leave this country under the orders of Esau. You have to have a passport. In order to drive, you have to have a license from Esau, okay? So this is what it is, okay? Point being, we built America, okay? This place was built off bloodshed and robbery, okay? But they'll like to flaunt in these school systems, in these so-called educations, in these so-called schools, okay? The history of America, how America, became America, the industrial age, the 50s, the 60s, how we did this and that, okay? But this place was built off of slavery. When you talk about that, you're a racist, or get over it, okay? It don't matter. That was a long time ago. But the scriptures say, remember the things of old, okay? This is the book of Nahum. Let me type Nahum 3 and 1. It says, right? This is Nahum 3 and 1. Woe to the bloody city, and woe to the bloody city. And this place was gotten off what? Bloodshed. Okay? Mainly the blood of the Israelites. Okay? What you did to the Israelites. You basically raped, robbed, and murdered our people, okay, to get where you're at right now. Now you're doing it with everybody else. Okay? This is why you see all these wars going on over in the Middle East. That's Esau trying to, gain power, basically. Okay? Woe to the bloody city, it is full of lies and robbery. The prey departed not. And who's the prey? The prey of the Israelites. Who's the predator? Esau, Edom, and these other nations. Okay? The Lord said in the scriptures that he will put us we are like sheep amongst wolves. Okay? That's what it is, man. But this place got big off of the transatlantic slave trade, man. And it's still big because who's still the hands and feet of the society? Jake is. Okay? We've been working, okay, slaving for you devils, okay, since we got over here on slave ships, okay? You continue to work us to death, okay? And now we're seeing your fall now, okay? This is Malachi 1. I started 3. Actually, I started 2. I have loved you, saith the Lord Yahweh Shema Shah. Yet ye say, wherein hast thou loved us? Was not Esau Jacob's brother? Because Esau is the wicked, twin of Jacob. Which Jacob is you tribes, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans. Salaki, I'm looking at something, right? That's you. Esau, these so-called white people. Okay, Edom. Said the Lord, yet I love Jacob, and I hated Esau, and laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness. Whereas Edom said, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. And they did that, as I did in my other video, starting, okay, with the Renaissance, okay? When they started painting over the images of the original people, the original rulers, the original judges, which was you Israelites, okay? Then they started doing what they're doing. Then it came around to the transatlantic slave trade, okay? And that's how they built, what you see now, America. This system, this fourth beast, okay? That's being ran by NATO, the EU, and America, okay? They did that. This came to pass, okay? They built the desolate places. Thus said the Lord of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down. And they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom the Lord have an indignation forever. Okay? And this is what's happening. They built this place up. Now the Lord's tearing it down. Okay, he's tearing it down spiritually through the prophets, okay? Physically, and mentally, okay? That's why these people are bugging out the way they are out here. Okay? The Lord is throwing this place down piece by piece, and your infrastructure is falling. Okay? You go back 30, 40, 50 years, go back to the industrial age of America. Okay? Back when, the man, all he had to do was have a high school diploma. Okay? He had a woman and kids. He only had to go to work. The woman stayed at home. Okay? The roads wasn't, crumbling. They didn't have potholes in them. The bridges wasn't falling apart like you see now. Okay? Train stations, as you saw in that video. Just everything you're seeing. The infrastructure is crumbling in society because that's a part of the downfall and decline of America. Okay? America being that new Roman Empire, because the same thing that's happening now happened, okay, during the ancient pagan Roman Empire. The same thing. No political issues. Okay? The military was spread thin. Okay? The religious, it was a change in the religion, okay? Just all these things, that too much, they was overdoing, it was the slave labor, they was overdoing it. That's also in the history of that, okay? Just like you see now, it's the same thing, okay? Esau's do the same every time, reincarnation and reincarnation out. He does the same thing, and what does he get? The same results. That's why he's falling right now. Okay? Let me go back. Okay? This is Psalms. Oh, break time up. Man, time flying. This is Psalms 137 and 7. It says, remember, O Lord, the children of Edom in the day of Jerusalem, which Jerusalem is us, who said it, raise it, even to the foundation thereof. Okay? Because every time our people, they were facing, a downfall, or we were being taken down by our enemies, who was always there? You Edomites. Okay? You were always there when we fell as a people. Okay? And you were responsible in this captivity for wiping away the destroying our people to where beating their nationality out of them. That's what I wanted to get out. Okay, destroying how the Lord said, you destroyed my heritage. Oh, you destroyers of my heritage. Okay, our people, they're so destroyed. They call them. I always say this. They call themselves everything but who they truly are. The Israelites from their particular tribe. But that was your doing. Okay. O daughter of Babylon. Okay, this Babylon who ought to be destroyed. Happy shall he be that reward thee as thou hast served us. Okay? This is a future prophecy. This is what we're coming into. This is what the times we're in right now. Babylon the Great, aka America, this system being totally done away with. Okay? This is I'm gonna end it with this. My break's about up. It's a lot more, could get to this, but let me see. This is Second Esdras, or Baruch, I believe is Baruch. The 4th chapter, I believe. You. That's why I said, well, I forgot to get that too. Woe to him that set his nest on high, man. Okay? You Edomites, you walk around, you're proud, you got the best, you got the fatness of the earth right now. Okay? You walking all up and down on Jake. Now it's gonna come back on you. Okay? Right? I start, I'm gonna get to the point for time's sake. It says, take this Baruch 4:30. It says, take a good heart, O Jerusalem. That's you Israelites. For he that gave thee that name will comfort thee. Miserable are they that afflicted thee, and rejoice at thy fall. Esau and the other nations. Okay? Psalms 83. Miserable are the cities which thy children serve, mainly here in America, okay? And wherever our people been scattered, okay? It wasn't just here in America, but America's the main destination for that. For the slave trade. It's the capital of it. Miserable is she that received thy sons. But as she rejoiced at thy ruin, and was glad at thy fall, so shall she be grieved for her own desolation. For I will take away the rejoicing of her great multitude, and her pride shall be turned to mourning. That's what's happening. These people mourning out here, man. That's why people want to fake like they're living their best life now. That's what they got to do. That's why they want all these drugs, okay? Because the rejoicing is the mirth is being taken out of this place. And I did a video on that. For fire, what? Fire from the chariots, the so-called UFOs, and the missiles that's going to come over here from World War III shall come upon her from the everlasting long to endure, and she shall be inhabited of devils for a great time. O Jerusalem, look about thee toward the east, and behold the joy that cometh on to thee from Yahweh. Lo, thy sons come, whom thou sentest away, and they come gathered from the east to the west by the word of the Holy One, rejoicing in the glory of Yahweh by Shema Shah. Okay? So we should be rejoicing at what we're seeing. We're seeing the downfall of our enemies. Okay? So, that's it. Call her Lord Allah Yahweh by Shema Shah. Baba Kasha, Baba Bo, Baba Bo, Baha Ayapia, Kwam Yasharala, which means arise Israel. Shalom to the elect.